Jen here with my layout for July's Scrapfive challenge. This month, Ronnie Sue Scrapper is our creator of the 5 items list that we use to create our layouts. So let me see if I can remember everything on the list. There is use 2 or 3 long tags, create an embellishment and use that embellishment, stencil, use jute or twine or ribbon, and then the last one was to splatter. So definitely lots of things that I love using, techniques I like using, and of course I love to splatter. So yay, that's going to be fun. So as I was pulling out different items to kind of come up with the design, I was instantly reminded, because of the first one, which is to use the tags, that I had just recently created my own little tag embellishments. So the tags were already pre-made, but I was playing with some watercolors and I kind of made a mess on my desk. I don't know why, I just find it easier to clean paint or watercolors right off of the surface of my desk. I'm not super picky. It's an IKEA desk. It washes up pretty good, and I'm just not overly concerned about it kind of getting dirty. I just feel like the watercolors wash really easily off of the surface, so I just let them all drip onto the desk, and then instead of wasting that, those kind of drippy messes, I dipped some tags in it and made my own little watercolor tags, and then I stamped on them and splattered them with some gold Heidi Swapp color shine, and kind of created my own little tags, my own little embellishments. So I'm going to use those. That's what you saw me kind of playing with at the beginning. And then I'm also going to create the long tags, because when Ronnie Sue says long, I'm going to go long. I felt like the pre-made tags that I have that are larger weren't long enough. I really wanted to, emphasize that they had length to them. So I just pulled out a couple of these little pieces of 6x6 papers, and now I'm going to pull out my stencil, and it's a Spellbinders kind of metallic stencil. I've never used this one before. I think it was given to me, and I think you can emboss or deboss with it, but you can also use it as a stencil, or you can use it for like on your jelly plates and stuff like that. So just one of those versatile things that end up in your stash, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity to just go ahead and pull it out and give it a try. And I kind of really liked it. I like the metal, feels like it's a lot more sturdy, so I could really kind of squish and get a nice, clean, crisp image on the tags that I'm making. And I like the pattern, so I think I will probably use this more often. It's going to be a goal, I think, to use it more often. Plus, it cleans up really, really easily, so that is definitely a bonus as well. But I just kind of tucked those tags all together so they're like one piece of paper, so that I could go ahead and just randomly smush the rose gold glaze. That's the Vicky Bouton rose gold glaze. Kind of smush it all around. So they won't be completely filled up. They're a little bit random, but you definitely can see that beautiful pattern. So, and you can still see the watercolory pattern. That's what the little 6x6 paper pad that I pulled them from is, just all watercolor patterns. You can definitely still see that as well. And I picked those papers because they kind of have the same look and same feeling as my tags. They're definitely watercolor, and I was looking more for the purples and the greens and just touches of reds, because that's what's in my tags. That's what really kind of those are the colors that the tags really picked up. So I forgot to say, or I mean, you guys saw me doing it, but at the beginning I did do all my splatters. I always try to do that first because they take a bit of time to dry. So I went ahead and splattered just on the right hand side, and that's where my picture is going to go. And so those splatters will just kind of peek around the picture and the tag, and then set that off to the side while I created my other long tags with the stencil. And now those are drying, so I'm going to go ahead and pop these tags down. I don't know, there was kind of no reason for me to do this particular design. I just, when I was playing around trying to think about what I might like to do to pull this all together, I put those tags along the side, and then I thought, yep, I like that. That's what we're going with. So yeah, that's what I did. So it took a little while, probably almost 2 hours for these to dry. It's super, super humid here. It is still raining like crazy almost every day here, which is not normal for us, but it did take a bit of time for the rose gold glaze to dry, and this paper is not very thick, so it didn't really kind of sink in, if that makes sense. So it definitely took some time. But that's okay, because I feel like when I know that I'm going to be doing mixed media and I know that I'm going to have to wait for stuff, I try to either multitask and do multiple layouts. So maybe instead of just doing one background with splatters, I might do a couple different backgrounds, or, just plan my time accordingly. Or sometimes you'll see that I'm doing this maybe over a couple of different days. And usually what I would do is, when I would get home from work and I knew I had to take Kaylin to dance, I would sit down for like 10 minutes, do something that I knew had to dry, and then I would go take her to dance, and it would be able to sit and dry for like the 3 hours that we were gone. And then I might not actually put the whole layout together until the next day. So I always try to be efficient if I can. And I'm back to simplicity. I think I've probably said that before, but it's one of those things where I look at some of these layouts that have a lot of white space and just seem to be very sort of strategically planned, where there's a lot of detail and a lot of fun, kind of interesting things going on, but it doesn't take up the whole page, and everything just looks very kind of purposeful. And I don't know, I strive to do that kind of stuff. I really enjoy those layouts. They don't always have the most stuff. They don't always use, a ton of different textures or a ton of different ephemera pieces and embellishments and stuff, but everything just looks so well placed. And so I love that. But my kind of like natural gen is lots of layers and lots of little embellishment clusters and tucking things in and, fiddling with things. So I find that I kind of go in waves of wanting to do the simplistic thing where there's lots of white space and there's just like a couple fun bursts of something. And then I slowly find myself adding more and going back to, my comfort zone. And so I've been in a bit of a slump and I have been struggling. I definitely struggled in June with all of our routines changing and just lots of stuff going on in my life and lots of changes in my life. And so now in July, it took me a while to kind of get back into scrapbooking and be motivated to scrapbook. And so I'm back to like that more simplistic thing. I think it's a good starting off point for me. So I love how this turned out because there is lots of white space and there's a lot of stuff going on, but I just feel like the colors really stand out and it's just a super cute picture. There's nothing particular about the picture. It's not a specific event. It's not anything like that. It's just my niece when she was little and she's just cute. And yeah, I just got to play with a few techniques and nothing sort of had to be overthought or fussed with. And so, yeah, that's the stage that I'm at, kind of post loss of motivation, post no mojo. I'm just going to start off simple and then I might work my way back up to, that more comfort zone for me. But yes, so you saw how I put my tags down, and then with that second piece that I made, I just went ahead and extended my tags. So now they look like really long tags, which is what I wanted to do. I really wanted to kind of emphasize or exaggerate the long tag. So I think at this point I have everything on my layout. I have embellishments that I made. So I have my little tags, and then I also have my big tags because I made them as well. I have the 3 big tags. I have it's sort of like a cotton twine at the top of all of the tags. So there's lots of texture there, and it doesn't really stand out. And because my video is sped up, you might not have seen it, but I had a little bit of purple embroidery floss it was just like one little piece that was kind of sitting just off of the camera that you couldn't see. And so I pulled that apart and I kind of tucked it in behind the picture. So it doesn't stand out too much, but it's just a little bit of extra texture and a little bit of purple kind of brought over by the picture, because my little tags have a lot of purple in them. And my larger tags don't have quite as much. So there's a little bit of purple there. So I have to start again. 3 long tags, embellishments that I made myself, stenciling, splatters, and then the twine. So all 5, these were great items to use because they're so versatile. They could fit for any theme, any color scheme, anything you wanted to do. So definitely give them a try. And if you do want to follow along with this challenge, use the hashtag Scrapfive. You'll see it in the description box of this video, and then we can find your layout and go and check it out and like it, and that's kind of cool. So let me know if you follow along. And that is my layout. I just finished it off with a quick title that says Happy Beautiful Girl. I'm just trying to work through all of those word thickers that I have, and I think the white looks perfect on this. And then a couple of little iridescent stickers, and that's it. I love it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please check out the links below so you can see everybody else who's playing along with Scrapfive today. And subscribe if you haven't already. I'm so close to 2,000, and I just love you guys so much for getting me there. I really appreciate it. Until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.